Hi, friends. Welcome back to Elevate with Erica. Can you believe that it is already late November? Like the store aisles are bursting with the holidays and the end of the year, and it's got you thinking that's a wrap. But it's not a wrap, friends. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I am not that friend. I am not going to tell you to take a step back. Take it easy. You've had a tough year. Set your goals for next year. No. Sure, I want you to set big intentions for 2025, but we are still here in 2024, my friend. We are still here. We have plenty of days to kickstart something that could redefine the entire year. And that just becomes a little step that has you looking back on this year thinking, that's the year when it all changed. You know, a couple months ago, I didn't even know what peptides were. And now I'm affiliated with a company where that is currently booming business for me, right? And 2023 could have been defined by the year that my marriage failed. But instead, with just a couple months left in that year, it became the year that my husband and I made Jesus the center of our world. It became the year when we leaned into the hard stuff, the stuff that we were avoiding. 2023 is not the year my marriage failed. It's the year it was rocked, yes, but it's the year that we decided we were going to do the hard work in and on ourselves that we hadn't done before. We turned 2023 around with just 2 months left of the year, you guys. At the beginning of October last year, I thought, this is it. This is where this marriage ends. You still have time, my friend, to make big, big things happen for you and in your life. You still have time to lay some bricks down. And what I want you to do is to ask yourself bigger questions. Not why didn't I get done the things I said I would do this year, or why didn't I hit those goals, or how did I not hit any of my New Year's resolutions, or why am I just so bad at this, or why can't I stay consistent, or why do I keep repeating the same bad stuff, blah, blah, blah. Because those are small-minded questions. Those are leading questions too, aren't they? They're leading you up to a response. It's like setting yourself up to trash talk yourself. And I want you to elevate those questions. See what I did there, by the way? Elevate. We're elevating. We're elevating our questions so that we can close out 2024 strong. What about asking, what step can I take this week to move that needle on the goal, that resolution, that dream, that vision I have for the life that I desire? What can you do before the end of the year that makes you go, that's the year it all started. 2024, that was the year when I took the step. That was the year when enough was enough. Or ask yourself, what one habit can I implement by the end of this year that becomes the habit that set me up for the biggest turnaround of my life that I wanted to see in my family, in my marriage, in my education, in my career, in my fitness, in my nutrition, with my friendships? Ask yourself, what would someone who is more consistent or who follows through on what they say they're going to do, what would that person do today that would align you with that big goal, with that big vision that you have for your life? Because this is it, you guys. This is the year that will not be defined by what you didn't get to or the struggle or the pain you've experienced. It's going to be the year defined by it being the first step that you took or the big step that you took towards that thing you really want. It doesn't matter how big the step is. I just want you to own it. I want you to own that a year is not 10 months. A year is not 11 months. A year is 12 months, and we're not done yet. You have time. 2024 is not a wrap. Another thing I really want you to do is I want you to watch what you're consuming. And no, I don't mean the Halloween candy that you're still stealing from your kids' baskets or from that candy bowl at work, the one that everyone like fills up with all the candy that they no longer want in their house, so then they just eat it at work. I'll admit that every time I go in my kids' room to do laundry, I take a piece of Halloween candy. It's called tax. Okay. Back to the topic. Watch what you are consuming, right? And I don't mean in food. I mean in content. I was listening to a podcast this morning from high performance coach Brendan Burchard, and he said, what bleeds leads. What bleeds leads. This is something that we have to remember. I stopped watching the news years ago. And guess what? I'm still very informed. I am not saying that you need to stop watching the news entirely. That is your choice. But know that they are leading with a specific dialogue to promote engagement. Like that's exactly their job. That's how they stay on the air. Let's just be real. And I can even say in my own posts on social media or that I see of my friends, people will quickly engage on something that's controversial, sad, someone's frustration, anger, someone getting fired, someone announcing a divorce. But if someone is sharing how great their workout was, how wonderful their marriage is doing, about their new business, anything like that, the engagement is much lower. What bleeds leads. So be mindful of what the media is choosing to show you because they have an agenda. As Brendan asked, when is the last time that you watched the news and you walked away feeling optimistic about the future? Watch what you're consuming. We are in that post-election season where efforts to divide us are everywhere, but you don't have to consume it. You have a choice. Is that the way you want to remember 2024? Is that the energy you want to carry into 2025? And lastly, if you want to feel more optimistic, less consuming, more action. Action breeds confidence. Confidence breeds optimism. And if you're lacking confidence after a rough year or maybe a rough few years, whether in yourself or just in any possibility that your life will ever get any better, I want you to check your daily habits. Check your inner dialogue. Check your follow through. How you see the world today, the direction that you see it headed in, the direction that you see your own life headed in. It's not because of an election. It's not because of anyone else's that you've been pointing the finger at. It's not because of anyone else's actions. It's not because you got fired. It's not because someone betrayed you. It's not because of the prices at the grocery store. It's you. It all starts with you. 2024 is not a wrap. Taking accountability starts with taking action on you. And owning that is required to make the rest of the year the best of the year. This year is not a wrap. It's not over and you're not done. Thank you for spending this time with me on Elevate with Erica. If this episode resonated with you, if it fired you up, if you needed to fire up one of your friends or a family member, share it on your social, share it with a friend who needs to hear this message. Let's finish strong together. Until next episode, friends.